Hi everyone, welcome to my new video. This video is filmed on Sunday, just before the opening of the markets. And this video is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute any investment, legal, tax, or any other professional advice. Nothing here is a solicitation, offer, or recommendation to buy or sell any security, crypto, or ETF. Or any other assets. As you all know, all investing involves risk, including the possible loss of all the capital. So let's get to it. It was kind of a slower week than we got used to it. I'm going to start with the S&P 500. It's been the same level that we didn't break on the S&P. We got 3 days of red. And on Friday, after some good economic data for all the week, we managed to hold that level and trying to get above. I'm not saying we're done yet with the correction, but this level is important. I would say anything about 6,700 will be bullish. Anything below may still get some fears of correction. Same thing happened on Nasdaq. What I would point out is that we're just going up so nice and to all-time highs every month, every week, not every day, but we're getting there. I do think any time is a possible a correction between 5 or 10%. It is, I would say it is healthy, because we are getting a lot of good news and we don't manage to break things. Regarding crypto, especially Bitcoin, since I kind of only follow Bitcoin, we got, as we talk all week, near this level that is important support. It's also the former resistance of last year and at the beginning of the year of 107,000 US dollars for one Bitcoin. I would say from my experience that sometimes we do break those levels. They hunt stops and they jump right back above this support. This is usually how it happens, especially on a weekend, on a low liquidity day. They usually do this. Sometimes it's a move like this for a few hours when we see maybe 5 to 10k drop and then either stabilizing or just going back up. I think it could happen. I would say that the chances are bigger than not happening because everyone is looking at the same charts, seeing the same support and putting stops right below it so they don't lose a lot of money, especially the people who trade on margin. Regarding euro US dollar, this is a very interesting week, a very interesting setup. As you all know, we've been having the worst correction on the dollars in maybe 50 years. We went down like 15%. And the maximum was on Fed Day when they cut 25 basis points. We touch 1.19 and then go down for a few days. We are very close to my support of 1.16, and I also put this time some retracement levels, and the first one would be like 1.15. So it could happen. It is not an easy week. I do think there's a lot of people with big margins on the accounts, so be very careful this week because we do have the possible government shutdown, and even if we do avoid it, on Wednesday we have the ADP jobs numbers, and on Friday we have the NFP jobs and the unemployment claims on Thursday. So a big week. And I think we have also JOLTS openings, so a huge week with jobs data. This will influence a lot the pair, the euro dollar pair, and I think if we get any better data than expected, and I think it's possible, we may get below 1.16. This is not a recommendation. This is not something I'm telling you it will happen or anything like that. I'm just expressing my opinions. Regarding gold, a very good week. We broke many records again. The only thing I could point out on gold was that, well, let me see, we got a high RSI both on weekly and monthly. It's actually on monthly, it's just probably one of, yeah, the most expensive in a way, or the most high value for RSI like ever for a monthly chart. So everybody is on gold, everybody's on margin. The only thing I can show is maybe very strange move in the last hours, probably some rebalancing on futures or something, but we did get a few dollar break down on the last 1 or 2 hours. NVDA, same pattern, kind of toppy, especially with so many good news about AI. The only thing that probably is expected besides the earnings in November is some resolution of in China, because you have to remember that in the guide for the next quarter, NVIDIA did not put any sale of Blackwell chip to the guidance, so it's not included to selling to China. So anything that goes to China would be very bullish for NVIDIA. But as I said for a time now, we do have these 3 months of consolidation range, or just stabilization of price before a bigger move. Microsoft, same thing. All Max 7 are into resistance levels. Maybe just the Meta had a down week, lower than the others, but I would point out that we got back to the 740 level, which was the all-time high in February. So probably testing and then going up again. Google had a very nice run in the last months. Some correction now on daily, you can barely see it, so nothing crazy. Apple the same, close to all-time high, maybe some double top forming. Tesla is very interesting because earnings will come out, car sales will come out, and we just got, I think we are close to getting the best close on a monthly chart, on a monthly basis in history of Tesla, right? So the all-time high will be here. It never closed a month at above 440, right? So never happened. Also, the weekly was pretty close to get the best weekly close ever. So trend is up, and we got this nice tweet in the weekend for from Elon Musk. Tesla is working hard on scaling Optimus. Very good news. Probably the next big wave of growth for Tesla. And like we talk, a lot of expectation on autonomy and also Optimus. So great future for Tesla as we see. Going to Amazon, I would say a bad week. This stock is not being able to clear this all-time high level near 240. And what is interesting here, I would say, is last earnings were a bit disappointing, and we fell, I think it was like maybe 7% or something, if I remember correctly, and we are going lower into the earnings. So maybe a different setup than last time when was very bullish into the earnings and fall, and then get some, but still cannot clear this important level that we have. We've talked about this bad price action or weak price action for Oracle. I like the company. I would probably be, again, not a recommendation, I would probably be a buyer near the 260 level. I think it's a great company and very much involved in everything that goes right now with AI, and also maybe something related to TikTok transaction. But this level will probably be an important one. It was the last breakout, maybe some testing on former resistance, now hopefully support. But we do have to realize that going from this level of when the earnings came, it's very good earnings, but especially the guide was amazing. So we do have more than 10% correction at this point. But like I said, probably me and others and everybody that's looking would look into this level of 260 for Oracle. We already touched on Quantum, IonQ also. There was a interview. I may do a video about IonQ and the recent interview for CNBC by the CEO. One stock that I found interesting for maybe for this weekend or for this video is Duolingo. Everybody knows Duolingo. Everybody knows the fear that AI will drive any desires for learning many languages for someone slowing down. It's not only that we don't want to learn languages like maybe 10 years ago, but the thing is that in this economy that's going with the speed of light, you really don't have the time you had maybe 10 years ago. So that's quite a decent fear, I would say. But so far Duolingo reported very good results. I do like the CEO. I do want to see more guidance for the future, because I think, if you compare the IonQ CEO with Duolingo CEO, it's just a huge difference. So I do want to see more conviction on the call. But so far Duolingo beat any estimates. Its business is growing very fast, and I think all the moves with music, with chess, I think it's on a good side, because we do have to have more on Duolingo than learning just a new language. I do think it's a fear that has to be taken into consideration, but so far Duolingo is delivering on both the revenues and profits. So if it disappoints, then we could see way below 260 in my view. If it delivers the same rates as last quarter, I would say we will get probably around 400 again. Not sure if the selling persists again, but I would say the fear is real. People will have instruments that will be able to talk with others without we could just stay at the coffee and talking to people, different cultures, different languages, and we could probably understand each other instantly in a few years. So this is something important, and I see a lot of discussion. I do like Duolingo. I do think it's delivering, but there's a risk out there that it's pretty high. So yeah, this is the video for today. I hope you enjoy it. I may do a video just about Duolingo, and please like, subscribe, and follow me. I talk and trade and invest most of the time in the market. So I have a lot of information that I'm preparing every day. Have a good Sunday.